Drisham.
What's up,
Ladies
everybody?
and J's.
Wow, we just saw
Jodhaa
epic.
We just saw
Akbar.
an insanely epic
I'm
movie.
sweaty.
Yeah, it got hot back
I'm
here. It's
sweaty.
hot
It was
in
sweaty
Minnesota
movie,
right now.
and it was. It was.
You were sweating during that one.
That
scene?
one scene had me
Oh,
all up,
man.
flustered, all up. Yeah.
Wow.
Anyways,
that
a
was
big old long 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah.
That was a epic movie, and by that I mean it was long.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you
it
say
did have some epic landscapes.
Now
and
here's the thing.
scenes and,
I think at the beginning of the movie, oh, hang on, I forgot to hit the record button on this
we're
one.
back.
All right.
You got the.
We're still here.
Yo.
Now what's interesting is at the beginning of this movie, I did not. I thought it was going to be something that it wasn't.
Yeah.
At
Like,
the beginning of the movie,
Well, they
we
made
got,
it feel like
we got
that right
teed
at the
up
beginning,
with an
yeah.
amazing sequence.
Yep. The battle.
Truly
scene,
amazing,
yeah.
real,
Elephants,
practical,
elephants.
amazing
Mm-hmm.
shots,
Yeah.
real animals.
Except for the farthest, out.
Right, but
Yeah.
for
Well,
the
it
primarily,
wasn't that
most
bad.
of it was practical, which
Yeah.
was
Mhm.
astonishing.
The scope was
2008.
established.
Amazing. So that is kind of what we got introduced into this
Yep.
world with. And
Yep.
so, knowing that it's a 3.5 hour movie, I was expecting us to go a different way.
Yeah.
And we never went there, but until the end. So
Mhm.
it was interesting.
Yeah.
So I'll
it
reserve
was
my
different.
feelings
It
until
was-
we continue to discuss.
It was definitely a different vibe. Like, there was a lot of slow parts in the middle.
But you know, in a weird way,
And-
I was kind of ready for it because it's like
Yeah,
this is so
it
long.
did.
You kind of know
Yep.
what it's doing.
It,
It's
it,
like,
yeah.
it was
it's
interesting.
just-
I mean,
this
the
is it.
acting was really good. Like, I felt like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
definitely that kept my interest because the acting and dialogue was pretty good. But yeah, it was definitely, I don't know, it was definitely meant to be mainly a love story. That was the point of the
Yeah.
film. So it's
Yep,
like
yep.
you can't really, bash it for being a love story because that was its
Yeah.
point. I mean, that says in the summary even. So like, it was just the beginning. Really it just kind of made it seem like it'd be maybe a little more intense, like
Well, and even
action-packed.
too, like on the thing, it does say action, drama, history, romance,
Oh
war,
yeah, on IMDb,
which I
yeah.
think is a bit. I don't think it was an action movie.
No,
No,
I think
mostly
not.
I think
romance and
IMDb
drama.
is also
Yeah.
classifying it wrong too, because I think you're right. It's a love story drama
Yep,
first and
that's
foremost.
the main. I would say like at least 2.5 hours, maybe more of
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
romance.
And
drama.
a love story that is very slow in progression as well. Which is like...
yeah, because they're just
They were just
slow
kind of
at it.
slow
I guess.
bowlers.
They
Yeah.
were just kind of learning, like... It was some of it was like,
It
okay,
took
this
them-
is understandable.
Yeah,
But some of it was like, oh my goodness, this is just like... You've established, like, hey, these are the thing, like, kind of the rules of engagement per
Yep.
se, like
Yeah.
where you both know each other's weaknesses and strengths, kind of.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, there's
Mhm.
still an hour left of the love story. kind
Oh
of.
yeah. Yeah.
So it was definitely very, very long, but what I enjoyed about it was the sets,
Oh,
the
yes.
scope, and then
Yeah.
it was like before Sanjay.
Yeah, it was like
movies,
the
basically.
sets. Yeah, it
Sets
felt
felt
like
very
Sanjay.
elaborate,
Sanjay.
very ornate,
Except not
beautiful
as
sets
depressing.
and dresses.
Yeah,
and-
not
it's
as
not as
depressing.
depressing.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Which I liked.
Yeah, I
But-
agree.
So that's
Sanjay-
why I was engaged, because the sets were amazing.
Oh
the-
yeah.
Yeah, and because
Practical
we had
effects,
talked
like-
before this about maybe doing half one day, half another because it was
Yeah.
long.
Yeah,
But
we
I
were
also
like, hey,
felt
let's
that
just do
too. Where like halfway through the movie, I was like, you know what, I could
Yeah.
do this. Like
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It wasn't
It
as
kept
yeah.
you in
So
it,
it's-
even
it's
though
honestly, I
it was slow
think-
paced. It kept you
In it, yeah.
This
in the
movie is so well done. I think
Yeah.
that's why we're
Oh
like,
yeah.
because
Yeah.
even if it is a very slow story,
It wasn't cheesy. It
it's
felt
visually
real. It felt like
engaging.
Yeah.
Yep. It felt like it was telling. I mean, explaining a moment in history, and
It did.
it really got
Yeah.
that down. That was
There were like
really
little bits that
well
were
done.
like they didn't need, but they put in there, and I think it was
Yeah.
like to be more historically
Yep,
accurate.
yep.
And that's what it
Oh,
felt
like
like.
the scene where he went to the bazaar, and that was.
Yeah.
I thought that
That
was.
was
Or that he
a
couldn't
worth
read,
scene.
or that
Yeah.
he couldn't read or write.
Yeah,
it was kind of
yeah.
a random moment,
Yep.
but it's totally like
it was
something
like, oh,
that-
this probably is
Those
historically
were good. I thought.
accurate.
relevant. Yeah.
those were interesting
What's
scenes.
interesting is watching this movie, you feel like the director knew he had a ton of time
Yeah.
to make it, so he literally was like, okay, I'm going to make everything as, like, literally dwell on everything as long as I can.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
So it's like if the movie production company
Right.
was like, hey, you got 4 hours to do this,
Yeah.
Right.
take your time. He took every single minute of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I know we always, like, kind of make fun of, like,
do.
Western movies, like, oh, they don't take their time and actually elaborate. So there's kind of like an in-between.
Yep.
I feel like this movie could have been 2.5 hours and would have
Been
probably
as
been as
fine.
effective, and I think I would have enjoyed it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um,
It was long. I mean,
It
it
was
was
very
very
long.
long. There's
3.5
no doubt
hours.
about it. This is a long
one of the
one.
longest movies we've watched, I think.
In a minute.
Period.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
period too. Yeah, 3.5. Yeah, because Wazapur we did 2 movies. It was 2.
Right.
Yeah, we split that up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh yeah, I think this has been the.
But I can
Bahubali
say
was pretty long.
I've
But
watched
that was
some
2,
other
yeah.
I've
Yeah,
watched
that
some
was
other
awesome.
movies that I've been more or less engaged with, and they've been shorter.
Yeah,
So for
I
what
agree.
it's worth,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's why
I think
this,
another thing too.
this scope is
The
it
movie
established
too
the scope.
was very, even though it was slow, it kept the same pace. I think through the whole
it was a
movie,
good
Yeah.
which
pace,
kind of
yeah.
let me keep in it because like sometimes some of these movies will like zip, they'll sprint
Yep.
and then they'll slow way
Yeah,
down and then
yeah,
they'll sprint and they'll
yeah.
slow, and it just feels disjointed.
Yep.
Mhm.
Right? This never felt disjointed. It kept the same theme.
Yep.
Where a lot
Yep.
of these movies sometimes they'll just run between funny and serious and then weird, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there were
This-
no weird tone.
No,
not
it
really
was
any weird tone.
totally
It
the
was very
same.
Yeah, I
very
agree, I
nice,
agree.
historical. Like all the costuming was beautiful
yeah.
and just
And
The
the
songs,
choreography,
the
there was,
choreography.
they were very long, but the choreography was
incredible.
impressive. So you're like, wow, I'm impressed at how long
Totally,
and
totally.
how impressive like
The songs,
the
the
sequence would be. Yeah.
the wedding day.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the guys, the harmony with those
Yeah, very cool.
guys singing.
it was very
Oh.
interesting too because legitimately too the actual because the thing is that it was a love story, but it really never. It didn't like that was the thing. It didn't really do anything from that other than the very end when it kind of got up to a what's going to happen. Then it was like it's all good.
Yep.
So
And then they united and like
it was unity was the key.
there was peace
Yeah.
Which
between the
I-
religions.
During the
which-
break, I actually looked up Akbar, Jodhaa Akbar, the actual
Yep.
person, and apparently he united most of India,
wow,
and
that's
including that was so true where he let most religions
wow.
be chill. He consolidated the domains,
Wow.
led to the capital unifying kingdoms of India,
Oh, yeah.
Hindustan. But he allowed
So a
any
lot of it
religion,
was historical,
including
yeah.
Christianity. He allowed
Interesting.
Akbar promulgated creative Islam, Hinduism, Zoroastrianism, and Christianity, which was cool because those dancers were Zoroastrian. When those ones that were doing the spins with the long hats,
Okay.
those
Wow,
are
so
Zoroastrian
they showed all the
I think
different
they did.
aspects.
That was cool. I also
That's
like
very
those
cool.
different
cultures.
cultures
Yeah.
kind of coming together
Totally.
for that. Hey, we appreciate you as emperor or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was kind of cool. Yeah.
yeah. Very, very
kind of
cool.
going to the performances, I feel like this was, since this was like a focus on sets and design, like I feel the performances were solid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The characters weren't extremely interesting. They were just
No.
like it was two beautiful people just
Yeah.
like staring into their eyes, and
Longingly.
beautiful eyes,
Longing.
just
For
sanguinely.
5
Yeah.
hours.
yeah, and it was like, well, they did that well,
Yeah.
I suppose,
Yeah.
but there wasn't too much
He,
in the way of
I think he had a
very
lot of
interesting
good scenes.
character
Yeah.
development.
Yeah, it was good acting, but I
good
think in terms
acting,
of
yeah.
writing, the actual characters themselves were more one-dimensional than they were. They weren't complex necessarily.
There
in
was
character.
nothing. Honestly, there was nothing really like by way of the story. There was nothing out of the blue, like out
Yeah.
of the ordinary. It was very straightforward.
I know.
And you could summarize it in like a paragraph or two,
could've.
and then you could say
Or
that's
you
the
could
movie.
sit and watch 3.5 hours
Yes,
of it
exactly,
too. I mean,
yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
either way.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm not
No.
like regretting
No.
watching the movie.
I actually
It was-
am
it was
surprised
de- it
because
was
I
very
was
good.
very worried a 3.5 hour movie.
3.5
Yeah.
hours is always like, holy cow, this is.
But yeah, I was
Yeah.
very satisfied. I think it's a historical piece also. Like Something about like these
Yeah,
sets.
it just draws you in.
It
The set
does.
I love
design,
historical
the-
drama. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I do too.
Initially, you're like, man, I have to be in the right mindset to watch a very long, like, historical
I know.
drama. But then once you watch it, you're like, wow, this is usually, I mean,
Yeah, it
usually-
was.
we kept
it
on
was worth
comparing
the-
this to
it was
Kingdom of Heaven,
Worth the
which
watch.
is the Ridley Scott
Yep.
master. Like, that
Huge,
one's so good,
huge
the
movie.
masterpiece.
Which
Yeah.
is in its credit. Like that's a compliment to this movie. Cause,
Yeah, there
it's
was
an
some
amazing movie.
similarities to that.
I also felt
Yep.
some Troy vibes too with some of the battle sequences too. But yeah, very well done.
Yeah.
The,
Oh yeah.
So I'll go first if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm giving it a 3.5.
All right,
Okay,
I think we're going to be
and,
fairly
and
similar.
I'm
to
giving it a
this.
3.5. I would have almost given it a 4, but I am super sweaty, and I've been sitting here for a while, and it's tough.
You're lowering it because of that. No.
I mean, I don't know. There were definitely parts that you probably could have trimmed down a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Well, actually, wow, I might be the lowest on one. I give it a 3 out of 5.
Oh, wow!
Yeah.
That's the first time
It
I
was-
think Isaac...
I
I'm
thought
giving my
definitely
rating away,
loved
but-
the set design, the
lowest.
music,
Wow.
and the acting. But yeah, I thought it could have been summed up in a
Yeah.
much shorter movie, and
That's very fair.
yeah, I just wasn't as engaged in the whole middle part of the movie. I don't know.
It's very long.
I mean the songs in the sets that was engaging.
Yeah.
But the love story, it didn't hit me as hard as
I
maybe
think
it did
that
for some
It
people.
didn't hit me either. Don't worry.
Okay.
I think it's the one-dimensionality of the characters is what that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
go through too many shifts, I would say.
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
they appreciate, they learn to,
I'm
like,
glad I
kind of-
watched it though. I
Yeah.
mean, it was an epic, which I mean, those are all.
And guys, if you want to tell us what to watch, go on our
Ben,
Patreon.
Yeah, mine's 3.5 as well.
Oh,
so yeah,
wow!
I mean, I think-
usually
I
I'm
think
the
it's the lowest.
highest.
That's strange because I
crazy.
think the last one I was way
inverted.
lower than.
Oh yeah,
a
I
bunch
was
of
higher.
you guys.
than-
So
yeah.
interesting little switch.
Yeah, we
there.
haven't
Very
yet. We definitely have.
But yeah,
different
this
views
was
on-
this was an experience. Probably
Yep.
would never watch it again.
Oh no.
I mean, it's very rare that we
Heavens
would
no.
watch 3.5 hour
Usually,
movies
yeah,
again.
we probably
It's-
wouldn't.
Are you
But-
kidding? Yeah.
yeah.
No. That's too long of a movie to watch
be-
again.
ending
Yeah.
on a positive note, it was really cool to see just the set, like we said many times before.
Very
yeah,
good.
the sets and the crazy battles too.
Oh,
I wish
yeah.
they had more of those because
Yeah.
like the
That was
first and
it.
the last battle, like they had so many
the design was really
actors
cool.
and
Oh,
stuff.
totally.
Like they had so
It was
many
so well
people.
done, dude.
It was so
amazing.
crazy. The elephants,
Yeah.
the everything. Oh,
So
good.
comment what you guys thought.
Yeah, let us know in the
Now.
comments. Right now. Go down to the comments right now and comment.
Were
Yeah.
you
your
as
star
sweaty as
rating.
we were
Are
when
you
we
as-
watched
yeah.
Were you as
this
sweaty
movie?
in
Or
that
were
one
you
scene?
steamed?
There was some steamy sword fighting.
What did you
That's
guys
why-
think of the
Steamy
love
sword
story?
fighting.
What did you guys think of the movie, the set pieces, everything? So yeah, let us know
Let
in
us
the
know.
comments.
Peace in the Middle
Yep.
East.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
All right.